I know I mentioned in a previous video set class 734 being misunderstood or underappreciated or words to that effect. Um, I'm always trying to caution people not to frame things as being almost a major scale or almost a harmonic minor scale or almost this or almost that. I can make a bit of an exception for 734 on the basis that its equivalent forms in Hindustani music, for example, are similarly conceptualized in the way that I'm going to explain them here, as related to diatonic modes. For that reason, there's some kind of precedent, even if it's not a Western precedent. There's an analogy involved. We can argue about it, but I want you to understand my point first. So let's take a look. This is your familiar major scale, and the way that you're probably taught to produce some useful and familiar form of 734 is by lowering this. Yay, it's the ascending melodic minor scale. Okay, that's one way to do it. I'm going to suggest that you think of it this way, just as a different way to think about it, if you can. So there's my major scale. What I'm going to do is I'm going to raise this. What? Really? Raise that. Yes. Having more than one way to think about this collection of tones will give you more control if you learn to think about it in at least two different ways. So the result is, what do we have for modes? What was our Ionian mode is now Locrian with a lowered 4. Why is that good? Well, maybe Locrian sounds too much like the other diatonic modes. Maybe you just want to make it a little bit more Locrian than Locrian somehow. There are other ways to do that. This is a way to do it. Okay? So that becomes sort of Locrian with a lowered 4. Okay? Here, that is your ascending melodic minor scale from there. Okay. It was bound to happen. Okay, from here, look at that. Okay, is it Phrygian? It's not Phrygian. It has characteristics of Phrygian, the second, and Dorian at what is going to be the sixth. Okay, so this collection tends to sound a bit like familiar diatonic modes, but it doesn't really settle into any one of them. Okay, it mixes the characteristics in I think, an interesting way. This here, that's right, it's going to be Lydian, but it's not Lydian. It's Lydian with a raised fifth. Is that like more Lydian than Lydian? No, don't quote me on that. Okay, Mixolydian. Okay, with the raised fourth. Many of you are probably familiar with this. It is often called the Lydian dominant scale, or called the overtone scale, which is a term I don't like used. Lydian dominant is closer to the way I think of it anyway. Okay, it has characteristics of Lydian and Mixolydian together. Okay, that was this guy here. What's that? What's that? What's it gonna be? Looks like Mixolydian, but it's not. Why is it not Mixolydian? Lowered sixth. Mixolydian with a lowered sixth. Does that matter? You'll notice it. Okay. And this one, of course, Locrian, again, with a raised second. That is really tasty because it prevents you from hearing the Locrian as wanting to resolve to major, because that it's the thing that it's supposed to resolve to just isn't there. You've got this other thing instead. Okay, there's a little more to it, but for the time being, I think this is enough for one video. Is there ways to modally conceptualize various treatments of set class 734? Enjoy.